to talk about something interesting.
One of the best ways to reduce something complex is to parse it. You could talk for days about the cultural impact of the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. You can drown in essays and think pieces on how it shaped the 2000s anime sphere. Maybe Zoomers coming into the fandom don't know the history, but it's easy to find sources talking about how the series sent ripples through light novel adaptations, or ending themes, character design, insert songs, the media mix, dubbing, genre blending, lamp shading, fan engagement, etc, etc, etc. Let's not consider right now that to this day it is still far and away the most successful thing Kyoto Animation has ever done, and largely launched that studio into the upper echelon of animation with its success. There's even formal analysis so rife for the taking. You could, as I have, see my old disappearance analysis, talked for hours about the directing, animation, voice acting, etc. that led to the show's efficacy and popularity. But the best way to manage something complex is to reduce it. And at the center of the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is that one entity. One force so primal and powerful that she formed the narrative, emotional, and thematic backbone of the show that was, in turn, the backbone of the anime of the aughts. There's no way to overstate Haruhi Suzumiya. There's no way to codify, parse, or reduce her. You can only struggle with how little you understand her. The first thing I noticed and admired about Haruhi was her assertive outlook. From the very start, she enforces and embodies the obligation for action. It is her and her series' one ironclad rule. If your life sucks, then you must do something to change it. The series opens on her discontent, confused and alone, like so many of us in high school. She's missing something, but she does not resort to passivity. It would be dishonest to herself and her values. So Haruhi bounces from club to club, searching for something she's looking for. Action is her one directive, and at times, her crutch. Unfortunately for her, and for the world, nothing satisfies, so she circles a drain into a deep self-destruction. What is it that she searches for, this thing that will cure the eponymous melancholy? Her tragedy is that she has fundamentally misdiagnosed herself. She's a victim of self-illusion. Her wants do not align with her needs. She believes she wants adventure, extraterrestrials, and mystery. Would that she knew all she truly wants is to be heard, to be accepted, valued, and respected. She's actively treating the symptom of her loneliness, that is, the boredom, instead of attacking the root cause. Ironically, the action she takes ostensibly to solve her disenchantment casts her even more as a pariah amongst her peers. Like Taniguchi, they're quick to write her off as the crazy chick. And who wouldn't? After that introduction speech, she's not a good person either, completely beyond any of the boring politesses that we use to allow others to feel comfortable. Plenty of viewers as well, both now and 15 years ago, were and are completely unable and unwilling to engage with her antics. But their act is the one thing the character of Haruhi Suzumiya stands in direct defiance of. Even more ironically, the perfect one-sentence description of Haruhi would be that she cannot and must not be reduced to a list of qualities. For if she takes that punishment one more time, she'll end the world and everyone in it. Those are the stakes when Kyon thoughtlessly floats one very particular, very understated line. It is the first time that someone considers to her the idea that her dissatisfaction, her decisions and her actions, her melancholy, might not be a bad thing, but in fact, a strength.
You could look at it this way. The people who don't like what they got are the same people who invent things and make discoveries and advance civilization. They made airplanes because they wanted to fly, and they made cars and trains because they wanted to go from place to place. It's as simple as that. The only reason that we've got all the things we have now is because a certain group of people got together and used their talent or imagination or genius or whatever to make it all possible. Ordinary people are probably better off living their ordinary little lives in an ordinary manner.
Shut up!
That is how you must look at Haruhi Suzumiya, with every negative as a positive and every positive as a positive. You can say that she's a brilliant, talented, progressive, beautiful, bisexual goddess that forms her own harem. You can say that she's guilty of gaslighting, blackmail, sexual assault, extortion, abuse, regular assault, and many more. You can claim that she's completely logical or entirely capricious, and you'd be so right and so wrong. You'd be a blind mouse floundering in vain to justify something far beyond their ken. You could write 100,000 words on the infinite mess that is Haruhi Suzumiya, and maybe you'd cast a poor shadow of that person onto the page. How can anyone consume that character? How can anyone relate, suffer, or countenance the worst, most complicated, most dangerous character in all of anime? They don't. The best way to handle someone is to marginalize them. So it goes for the kids at school and the adults around her. Boys want her looks, clubs want her talent, even Koizumi, Nagato, and Mikuru instrumentalize her, the blind mice. The potential for evolution, a distortion in space-time, a god. They manipulate her, corral her, control her. They are not her friends. So who's left in Haruhi's corner? No parents or other family, certainly. No school friends or club friends. She is utterly and dourly alone. It should come as no surprise when time and time again, the solution to every Haruhi crisis reduces to the moment that someone refuses to label her, or stops reducing her to a manageable bite that can be carelessly written off or dealt with. Just one moment for people to understand her. Just one moment for someone to love her as she is, for all that she is.
This sucks. I mean, why can't I just forget about it already?
How should I know? But I do. It's because you're just not used to being appreciated by others. The things you do aren't things that people usually thank you for.
How incredibly human a desire. All this detestable wreck of a human needs is for someone to care about her, to just embrace her. And that small act of faith, it'll let her completely change her outlook and attenuate her gloom. The thing that she was searching for was something she could never conjure for herself, not through force of desire, nor ability, nor willpower. So the onus is on you, dear viewer, to provide that for her. The most powerful, amazing, untouchable, and vulnerable woman in the entire world is silently screaming for your respect, for a second of your admiration, for a drop of your love. You with no remarkable powers, you the one with no talents or dashing good looks, you with not a single thing unique nor special at all. And guess what? It just so happens that the one thing you have in spades, that is your acceptance of normalcy, well, that's the exact thing to counteract her semi-suicidal poison of the soul. You, the champion white knight of the ordinary. You, the valiant soldier of the army of the banal. You can counter all the magic and mystery with the power of your everyday life. What Haruhi wants is glamour. What she needs is your grace. She's aching so vehemently, practically dying, not for something, but for someone to believe in, for someone to believe in her, to meet her where she's at, to confirm her worth. If you can supply that to her, she'll overcome her fears and doubts. She will flower and become all of the person she is capable of being. If you will deny her, you doom her to wilt in solitude and depression. And I say to you then, as it is for this girl, so too for us all. Surely no one of us is as far gone as Haruhi Suzumiya. If Haruhi can succeed in spite of herself, if you can love her for what she is, for the two are inexorably entwined, there remains a bright blaze of redemption for the hearts of all the lost, the dejected, and the melancholy among us. A single light can keep the darkness at bay, and what the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya portrays is the single hope-infused situation of reality. You can bear that light for anyone and everyone in your life. But first, you must act. You need to muster your empathy and your understanding and open your heart. You must believe in others in their totality and ask nothing in return. Please save us all. Accept humanity in its austerity. Accept Haruhi.